So I received a comment on my Party in the USA strumming video, which says, "Thank you so much for this. Tutorials rarely go so in depth with the rhythm, and that's often the hardest part. I'd absolutely love it if you could break down Doja Cat's Say So in the same way." Well, thanks for saying so. Don't mind if I do. And even if you're not familiar with this song, the concepts that we're going to be talking about apply to rhythm playing in general. Say So by Doja Cat. That's what we're doing today on Ray Plays Guitar, and we're going to do it as simply and as accurately as possible. Let's get into it. So this song has 4 chords, basically. 4.5, let's say. It's based on an E minor 7 chord, an A7 sus, A7 suspended, and then a D major 7 chord. Does that for 2 measures, and then it does the same thing again. E minor 7, A7 sus, D major 7, but this time it goes to a B7 sus to a B. Those are the chords. You can also play these chords in open position. E minor 7, A7 sus, D major 7. B7 sus to a B7, you could play like that. But the voicings that I'm hearing on the recording are triadic in nature, meaning we're just going to be playing 3 strings. So for the E minor 7 chord, if you take a look at this shape here, we're just going to play these first 3 strings. So I got 7 of 1, 8 of 2, and 7 of 3, creating this kind of a what most people would identify as a D chord. But if you bring that up here, these 3 notes make up a G triad. But when the bass player plays E in the bass, all those notes together make up an E minor 7 chord. So there's our first voicing. G triad, but we're playing that for the E minor 7 chord. Second chord, A7 sus. We're just playing these 3 notes. A, G, and D. 5 of 1, 8 of 2, 7 of 3. These 3 notes alone, most people would consider this chord a G sus2 if you just isolate these 3 notes. But with an A in the bass, sounds more like an A7 sus. We have a root, flatted 7, and there's our sus note, the 11 or the 4. Third chord. This is what we're going to play for a D major 7 chord. We're just taking this shape and playing the first 3 strings of that. 5 of 1, 7 of 2, 6 of 3. These 3 notes together would be considered an F sharp minor chord, but played with a D in the bass gives us a D major 7. Then the only other chords we need are a B sus, which we're going to play it like this, into a B triad. B sus, I'm playing 7 of 1, 7 of 2, and 9 of 3. We got B, F sharp, and E. That's our sus note. If we lower that a half step, we have the resolution to a B triad. 7 of 1, 7 of 2, and 8 of 3. So those are our triadic shapes. Now, how do we strum these chords? So for this rhythm, our right arm is going to be moving in this fashion. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Always. Our arm moves in that way, always moving back and forth, but we're not always going to be hitting the string. Sometimes we'll be hitting the strings and striking notes. Sometimes we're just going to be hitting muted strings. And sometimes we're just going to be moving our arm and not hitting the strings, kind of just keeping time with our arm. So a combination of all that is going to give us our rhythm. So keeping that in mind, let's take a look at our first measure. In the first measure, we have this G triad, which we're playing for the E minor 7 chord. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. That's what happens. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So I'm striking the strings, but then I'm going to release pressure because it's kind of a short note. And my arm continues moving. It helps me keep time, and it keeps my hand ready to play these subdivisions. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. On the very last 16th note of beat 4, we're going to be hitting muted strings on an upstroke. First measure, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Second measure, we're going to be going to this A7 sus chord and playing it in this fashion. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Once again, so we don't play on beat 1, we play on the and of 1. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Once again, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. First two measures together. 1, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. The next two measures are the exact same rhythm. We're just going to play it on this chord, this F sharp minor triad, which we're playing for the D major 7 chord. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. 4 E and. Here's the first four measures together. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Again. Now we go back into it and we do the exact same thing. But this time, instead of doing that chord twice, we're going to go up here and play this B sus, 1 E and a 2 E and a. And on beat 3, we resolve to a regular B triad. So that last measure is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a. So here's the first 8 measures together. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now, they do that whole thing again, but this time, the rhythm gets a little bit busier on the D major 7 chords and on the B sus and the B chords. So now it's going to sound like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and. That's all the same. Now, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and... On the last measure of D major 7, it goes like this. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Before we were just playing 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, and laying out the rest of the measure. This time we're playing through the rest of the measure. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. And it's during that last 4E and a that I'm going to keep the strings muted, but start moving my hand into position for that next chord. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So then I can get back and be ready for that next chord. Then we're back into this. Starts off the same way. Same thing on the B. We're going to play through that whole measure. And the rhythm here goes 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So here's the second half of it, the busier parts. Now, a couple tips to help you play this a little easier. After this first chord, before I do that muted, I'm getting my hand ready for that next chord. So when I do that, that next stroke is going to be that next chord, so I want to have my hand ready. The other challenge that we have with playing triads, well, we have to be careful not to hit these strings that we don't want to ring out, like the fourth, fifth, and the sixth strings. So I'm muting all the strings that I don't want to ring out, and I do it a couple different ways. So whatever finger is playing the third string, I kind of position it a little higher so that the side of it is going to touch that fourth string. So that fourth string gets automatically muted. So if I'm doing this chord with this fingering, my first finger is muting that fourth string. This chord, I'm kind of extending my first finger up. It's hitting the first string, but I'm extending it up, but not pressing down on the strings here to kind of mute those strings. On the next chord, my second finger is closest to that fourth string, so that finger is going to be muting the fourth string, and then I'll bring my thumb around the top to mute the fifth and the sixth string. So I can hit all the strings if I wanted to, and only the 3 strings that I want to ring out will ring out. I don't want to hit all the strings all the time. I'll come in, I'll use an angled pick approach. So I kind of miss those 3 strings, because that adds a little too much noise sometimes. Sometimes you want that extra noise, but in this case, I don't. So I'm kind of angling down, missing the 4th, 5th, and 6th strings, and grabbing these strings. That's why muting that 4th string is kind of crucial. Because if you're using this angle technique, you're probably going to miss the 5th and 6th string, but you might hit that 4th string once in a while. So let's get that thing muted. But bringing my thumb over the top to mute those strings happens a lot. And then whatever finger is closest to that 4th string, you're going to use that finger to mute that 4th string. Now this rhythm is surprisingly very sparse. People have a tendency to kind of throw in a lot of extra muted strums, because it's kind of funner that way. But I warn you not to do that. There's space between these notes for a reason. And if you're going to start doing a busier rhythm, use that dynamically. Do it in certain spots, doing it only in the choruses or whatever. But when we're leaving that space, it's important to keep our right hand in that 16th note subdivision movement. Going from playing like quarter notes or 8th notes to 16th notes out of nowhere, you need a little bit of ramp up time. And sometimes if your hand's not ready for it, it's not going to flow as flowingly as it could.
Thanks, Flo.
Hey, let's go get you an ice cream cone, champ.
The sprinkles?
Sprinkles are for winners.
You always want to keep that arm moving in that 16th note feel. That way, no matter when you touch the strings, it's going to be in time. Another tip is to keep your pick loose. You don't want to have too tight of a grip on your pick. That's with a tight grip. That's with a loose grip. A loose grip kind of flows over the strings more. That's a loose grip sound versus a tight grip. Tight grip has a little too much attack on every single strum, and it's less dynamic. Everything's a little too much. But with this, it has a flow. It sounds more musical. So you want to keep a looser grip so that your pick kind of has a little bit of give as it goes across the strings. Of course, you don't want to have too loose of a grip, or else you're going to be dropping your pick. And your right arm in general should be loose. You don't want to tighten up. Keep a loose right hand, flow with the rhythm. I have backing tracks for this progression, with and without the rhythm guitar, and you can download those from my website. Links are below. It's also a fun progression just to blow over the top of. It's in the key of D. You can have a lot of fun with that. Well, that's the rhythm parts to Doja Cat Say So in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please leave those below. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, but most of all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.